My name is Lia Gallman and I am 19 years old. After 7 months of undiagnosed leg pain, I was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma last year, the summer after I had graduated high school. I found out that I had an 8-inch tumor that consumed my femur. Because of the aggressiveness of my cancer, I needed to start chemo immediately. And on my ride home from my very first day of cancer, I immediately started to feel sick. And I realized that I didn't really enjoy chemo. I've always been extremely active. I have loved anything sports my whole life, and anything outside, I wanted to be outside. Ever since I was 10 and all the way up through high school, I played softball competitively. But chemo pretty much confined me to my bed at first, which made me pretty distraught and depressed. My life had totally changed and I couldn't see the end in sight. A few weeks into chemo, I kind of hit rock bottom. I was not in a good place mentally. Things were really hard for me. I knew I had many more months to come and I wasn't really excited about the pain I would be going through. I wasn't completely depressed the whole time, but I definitely had my bad days. And those were some of the darkest weeks of my life. After 6 rounds of chemo, I went in to meet with my surgeon to discuss the surgery. She broke the hard news that I wasn't ready for surgery and that I needed to do more chemo along with radiation. I was devastated. I was so excited for surgery and I really wanted a break from chemo. I cried in her office. She asked me if I had any cancer friends and I said no. She said I should try to find some. I thought she was totally off her rocker because how would having a cancer friend help me? But I figured I might as well try, and so I did. I downloaded the cancer app that they had suggested, and after a few weeks of no responses, I kind of gave up and I forgot all about it. Then out of nowhere, Michael Reese from New York messaged me. We started talking and it turns out we had the same cancer. We were the same age and we enjoyed a lot of the same sports. We talked for hours and hours about the side effects, chemo, and the pain. It was amazing to have someone who totally understood what I was going through. Michael truly became one of my best friends. He helped me to see the brighter side of cancer. He gave me hope for a good life after cancer. And I'm so thankful for him for being my friend. We still talk every day and we try to FaceTime whenever we get a chance, and I hope to be able to visit him soon. After becoming friends with Michael, I realized how important it is to have friends while going through cancer. I wanted to be that blessing for other people's lives, just like Michael was a blessing for mine. So I reached out to a girl in St. George. She's 19 and has leukemia. We talked for hours and hours. I even had the opportunity to visit her up at Huntsman twice. Becoming her friend has put me in contact with 2 other girls with cancer in St. George. I've reached out to both of them, and we've also become friends. And then just last week on Facebook, I saw a girl with my same cancer, and she was having a hard time because nobody knew what she was going through. So I let her dad know that I was willing to speak with her, and he gave me her phone number, and once again, I was able to reach out and we've talked. I hope to be able to help others through probably the hardest time of their life. Cancer fighters need friends, and I know I can be that for them, and I take every chance that I can get. Having cancer friends didn't make everything perfect though. I realized I wasn't alone, and I also realized that there were other people having the same hard days I was. But I realized that there are ways to have joy. Cancer doesn't have to be all bad. I tried to stay as happy and optimistic as I could throughout my cancer journey. It wasn't easy, but it was totally worth it. I always tried to smile and to find ways to be funny. I tried to be active and to not let how I was feeling affect me too much. One day after receiving chemo, I went to softball practice. I had been helping coach the high school softball team and I was loving it. But I really missed playing. We were doing hitting drills and so I decided I wanted to try. I was a little afraid that I wouldn't do very well considering I'd received chemo less than 2 hours before and I hadn't been able to play for months. So I didn't want to humiliate myself. But I got up and I started hitting bombs. You should have seen the smile on my face. Oh my gosh, sorry. I still get a little giddy just thinking about it. I was so happy to be able to do what I love. Whenever I was at softball, I was able to forget that I was sick for a few hours. I did my best to go to every softball game and practice that I could. And even after surgery, I still managed to get myself there with either my crutches or my wheelchair to the games. I was devoted to being there for cheering for my team. Coaching softball helped me to get out of the house and have something to look forward to, even if it was absolutely freezing outside. But I enjoyed every minute. I have learned a lot about cancer. I've become more confident in who I am. While visiting my friend at Huntsman, I saw a plaque that they have all throughout the hospital. It reads, "Cancer is so limited. It cannot destroy love. It cannot shatter hope. It cannot corrode faith. It cannot destroy people. It cannot kill friendship. It cannot suppress memories. It cannot silence courage. It cannot evade the soul. It cannot steal eternal life. It cannot conquer the spirit." And I read this and it really hit me hard because I agree with every word. Cancer cannot win unless we let it. I'm a big believer in the fact that we only lose our battle with cancer when we allow it to change us. If we allow cancer to make us mad or frustrated, then we're letting the cancer take over. If we can maintain a positive attitude and stay courageous, we can stay on top of cancer. I have met many people who have beat cancer but have passed on. Beating cancer has nothing to do with being cured and everything to do with staying positive. Before I was diagnosed with cancer, I loved the saying, "Fall forward," from Denzel Washington. I always love the message that this gives, that we will fall constantly, but just make sure you're falling forward. Use your struggles to make progress. Each fall, no matter how big or how hard, can be for our benefit if we let it. I tried to fall forward in everything that I did. Once I was diagnosed, I tried to apply this, but it was still extremely hard. I found another saying that says, "Move forward with faith." I once again love this. My cancer journey had a lot to do with faith. I didn't know the outcome of many things. I had no idea if I would be cancer-free. I didn't know if I would walk again, and I didn't know if I would make it through 14 rounds of chemo. I had to have faith in many aspects of my journey. I had to trust that things would be okay and that tomorrow would be better. Whenever I had a setback, I would do my best to push through and to move forward with faith. Today, I am cancer-free. I am working full-time and I am walking. I even played in a slow-pitch softball game a few weeks ago. I am loving every day. That doesn't mean I'm not still lost or have hard days. I had a friend ask me what I was passionate about besides softball, and I sat there for a few minutes, and I wasn't really sure. I was kind of afraid that I didn't have a passion. But I kept thinking about it, and then it hit me. I'm passionate about serving others. I would do anything to help someone, and I find great joy in bringing others joy. I'm grateful for cancer for teaching me about living. I take nothing for granted. It has been amazing to see life differently. If you would have asked me to speak something like this a year ago, I would have immediately said no. But today, after what I went through, I'm a different person, and I want to do my part to help others. I want to be an inspiration for others, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to do that today.